All right, let's jump straight into this explainer. Today we're unpacking a concept that is definitely not just another software update for global finance. I mean, we're talking about a complete rewiring here. We'll be exploring the IMN ecosystem and the unified Sigma AI. What we're really diving into is how this specific technology transforms banking from a rigid, brick-and-mortar structure into this living, breathing financial organism. So it's a fundamental shift in how money, intelligence, and people interact on a truly global scale. Okay, let's get into it. For decades, financial inclusion basically meant one thing, getting someone an account number. But look at this quote. Inclusion is not an account. Inclusion is participation. Framing it this way, it completely flips the script. It moves us away from looking at a bank as this passive storage vault where money just sits, and instead we start viewing it as an active, dynamic ecosystem that people actually interact with and, more importantly, benefit from every single day. To really wrap our heads around this living ecosystem, we need to start right at its conscious core. So think of the physical hardware, the phones, the point-of-sale terminals, the zero-fee payment rails. Think of all that as the physical body. But the IMN ecosystem, that's the mind. To understand this immersive experience, we literally have to treat the AI as the brain, the cash flow as the circulatory system, and the security protocols as the immune system. Let's start with Section 1, a movement of participation. To really grasp the sheer scale of this massive financial body, we have to map out its anatomy. Because an ecosystem doesn't work if it only serves one type of participant, right? It requires this vast, interconnected network to thrive. Just look at how these layers interact. Down at the foundation, the citizen gains identity and wealth-building tools. But they are connected directly to the merchant, who suddenly evolves from a simple shopkeeper into a local economic accelerator. Move up a layer, and governments gain incredible transparency for benefit disbursements. Financial institutions drastically reduce their deployment complexity, reaching populations they previously just couldn't afford to serve. The end result here is that a farmer in a rural village instantly becomes a participant in global commerce, hooked into the exact same ecosystem as major banks.
Moving on to Section 2, the AI Intelligence Core. The Sigma Bank AI engine is quite literally the brain of this whole operation, elevating the network from static tech into a proactive, intelligent assistant. Instead of a traditional bank waiting passively for you to walk in and ask a question, this intelligence layer acts as a constant neural network. It's always orchestrating real-time financial solutions, it seamlessly enhances fraud protection in the background, but get this, most impressively, it predicts liquidity needs before they even happen. It's an active brain, constantly analyzing data to make sure the ecosystem stays perfectly balanced for every single user. And here is the crucial takeaway. This technology provides a personalized, sovereign financial co-pilot to populations that have historically been entirely unbanked. Think about that for a second. Millions of people who have never set foot inside a bank branch suddenly have a highly advanced AI financial advisor right in their pocket. It democratizes the kind of high-level financial intelligence that used to be strictly reserved for the wealthy. It's truly game-changing.
Let's look at Section 3, autonomous cash rebalancing. Well, if the AI is the brain, cash is the blood pumping through the rural veins of this network. And historically, getting that cash to flow to remote areas? Absolute nightmare. The old way of replenishing rural ATMs is basically the Achilles heel of remote banking. I mean, sending expensive armored couriers bouncing down dirt roads into remote, unprofitable terrain completely destroys the business model. But the I'm-in way ingeniously transforms local business owners into a self-sustaining network of liquidity. It uses decentralized liquidity anchors and AI algorithms to incentivize local merchants to make their daily cash deposits directly into remittance nodes. And the jaw-dropping results of that innovation? Zero. Seriously, zero. Because the AI anticipates withdrawal demands, say it recognizes it's a crop harvest market day and expects a high cash outflow, it dynamically routes cash locally. It incentivizes the local merchant to deposit their daily receipts right then and there, meaning there are absolutely zero armored car transits required. It is elegant, it's efficient, and it completely solves the rural cash problem. To put that into perspective, look at this number, 98.4%. That is the astonishing node self-balancing rate achieved by this predictive algorithm. It completely redefines rural cash velocity. The ecosystem effectively feeds and balances itself autonomously, entirely guided by the Sigma Bank AI. Which brings us to Section 4, conversational wealth creation. So we've talked about the back-end mechanics. Now let's give this system a voice and see what it actually looks like for the everyday user. Imagine someone speaking directly to their device in their native indigenous language. They ask about something super practical, like crop insurance or micro savings. The AI understands, processes it, and instantly structures a fractional tokenized yield strategy based on their secure digital reputation. By translating complex financial actions into completely natural conversations, a simple rural cash-out point evolves into a powerful gateway for fractional, real-world asset accumulation. It is literally conversational microfinance brought to life.
Finally, Section 5, the Sovereign Trust Architecture. To protect all of this, we need an immune system, right? The underlying security that keeps the whole thing safe, compliant, and deeply respectful of privacy. For centuries, trust was signaled by massive stone columns and heavy vault doors. But in a purely digital, remote ecosystem connecting billions of people, how do you verify identity and prevent fraud without that physical branch? Well, the answer lies in highly advanced cryptography. By utilizing zero-knowledge proofs, users can verify their identity and build a reputation entirely safely. In plain English, this mathematical method allows the system to confirm that you are exactly who you say you are, and that you meet all the strict compliance and KYC parameters without ever actually exposing your private identity data. Your personal data remains yours, completely sovereign and protected. You aren't trapped in restrictive institutional silos. You own and control your digital footprint. And this paradigm shift is exactly why this whole ecosystem matters so much. Trust is not bestowed by a marble bank branch. Trust is mathematically guaranteed. It removes the absolute need for physical institutions to act as gatekeepers. It replaces those gatekeepers with unbreakable mathematics, ensuring total security and absolute sovereignty for the user. We are really looking at the pinnacle of this technological leap. What you should absolutely take away from this explainer is that by combining a proactive intelligence layer, self-sustaining localized cash balancing, and sovereign mathematical trust, we aren't just building a better banking app, we are building a global movement. It's a fundamental rewiring of financial inclusion that connects the unbanked directly to global asset accumulation. So what happens to the global economy when the next billion people are suddenly empowered to participate? I'm going to leave you with that massive, provocative question to think about as we look toward this incredible frontier. When the next billion people go from being totally unbanked to having a personalized AI co-pilot and access to global markets right in their pocket, what happens to human potential? Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Keep questioning, keep learning, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.